We know that I could turn werewolf at night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know that it really me when I stay on site. You on site, yeah. You know that I could turn water straight to wine. Wine, yeah. This money fall from the sky and it's on. What's up, guys? Chris. What's up? What's up, guys? Chris with us channel. I'm back with another amazing video. No, I'm not sick. Today we're gonna be watching Why Gordon Ramsay is Always Angry by Patrick CC. I've been watching Patrick CC for a minute, you know what I'm saying? So I already know it's gonna be good. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Because of shows like Kitchen Nightmares and Hell's Kitchen, we know that Gordon Ramsay is kind of a jerk.
Get out of my way. Get out of my fucking way. Get out of my fucking way. Get out of my way. Go upstairs, man.
Yeah. Go upstairs. I couldn't have been me. Them people that have been on them people that been on them shows, they got patience of steel. Cause I ain't about to let no man that looks like this,
Tribute Gordon's
looks like this, talk to me that way.
antics to a
Wasn't
fake
getting
persona
paid or
that
something.
displays for entertainment. It's just a character, they say. However, when you consider the violent and abusive life Gordon had to endure, you will understand where his rage comes from. Gordon's father, Gordon Ramsay Sr., was a violent alcoholic who Ramsay described as a hard-drinking womanizer. When his father was drunk, he'd either hit the children or throw things around the house. We had to run for our lives, he recalled. We spent many nights, weekends, hidden in the Department of Health and
You know
Social
what I'm saying?
Security room.
So I just feel like alcohol shouldn't exist. Cause I don't know, I'm just trying to think, when have you ever really when has something good ever really came out of alcohol? Genuinely, I know y'all might like it, but let's really sit back and think. When has somebody ever picked up a bottle and it was just smooth sailing from there? I don't know. Genuinely or generally, whenever somebody picks up a bottle, whatever happens next, usually they regret it.
Although his father abused and neglected his children, his mother Helen suffered the most. She was beaten relentlessly, even when she was 7 months pregnant with Gordon's younger sister. Gordon and his siblings, Diane, Ronnie, and Yvonne, often sat cowering upstairs in their bedrooms, while their mother was subjected to physical abuse downstairs. She often feared one day he might kill her. Gordon was already bigger than his father by the age of 12, but he never fought back. I don't know if I could ever have hit him. We were never big or strong enough to stop him. He had power over all of us. The crazy part is, the kids often spent time in Child Protective Services. Police would take their father away during his outbursts, but it was only temporary, as they would eventually return under the same roof as him. They could not escape. To make matters worse, Gordon's father didn't even support the family financially. His mother was a career nurse,
So why was he
and his
around?
father just worked various dead-end jobs. Dad would often have a fallout with someone at work and get fired, and because our home often came with his job, we would become homeless and have to move again. The family lived in roughly 16 different homes across England before settling in Warwickshire. As you can imagine, Gordon's education was negatively impacted due to his father's terrorizing presence. However, he found a positive outlet detached from his home life through football. He was aggressive on the field and could sprint really fast, which landed him a spot on the Rangers Football Club youth team. Gordon claims that he was scouted at one of his games by an Oxford United manager, which led him to being signed to the team. But an Oxford spokesman says otherwise. We don't have concrete evidence that he ever played for Oxford United, and none of those coaches around that time can remember him playing for us. This seems like a strange thing for Gordon.
Sounds like you never went.
Nevertheless, football was a major passion of his. It was also around this time that Gordon was finally able to flee his father's abuse for good. His mother told Gordon and his sister Diane that tension in their relationship was worse than ever. She forced them.
My whole thing is, a lot of people go through people go through stuff, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own little troubles at home and stuff like that. And not to take anything away from his experience, but what makes that's not necessarily a reason for him to act the way he does. Cause you don't never know. Some people probably could have left that show with I don't want to say mental trauma, Because he can't be saying nothing too bad for it to be going on television. But, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, I don't know.
Move out of the house for their own safety.
I just don't feel like that's a reason for him to have so much
Got their
anger.
own flat together in Banbury.
I don't feel like that's a reason for him to be projecting his anger on other people.
Oxfordshire,
think before I
Southeast
speak.
England. But at age 19, Gordon's dreams of being a football player were destroyed, which was the best thing that would ever happen to him. After suffering a serious knee injury, Gordon enrolled at North Oxfordshire Technical College to study hotel management. During
a
this
picture
time,
showing
he
off
worked
his
as a
knee?
commie chef at the Roxton House Hotel. The commie chef, otherwise known as a junior chef, is at the bottom of the food chain, literally. Most kitchen brigades are organized similarly to the military. Auguste Escoffier is credited for coming up with this hierarchy system while serving as a cook in the French military in the 1800s. Commie chefs help ensure that a kitchen's operations run smoothly. They perform cooking, cleaning, delivery, and other support duties as instructed by the chef de
gloves
partie.
at?
After progressing through the ranks and becoming the sous chef, Gordon ran the kitchen and 70-seat dining room at the Wickham Arms until he started a sexual relationship with the owner's wife.
Oh,
It
man.
wasn't right because she made, a go for me. I mean, trust me, what 19-year-old chef, fit as a fiddle, is going to say no to a stunning 33-year-old wife of your boss?
So yeah, he got fired. However, his
Yeah.
company landed him his first job at a Michelin star restaurant and his first appearance
Who is
on
behind
television.
him?
Michelin stars are basically the highest badges of honor for restaurants. The stars are part of the Michelin Guide, which employs thousands of inspectors who travel around the world sampling the finest cuisine. These highly trained inspectors will visit hundreds of restaurants a year in order to identify the best of the best. Michelin inspectors are always anonymous to ensure they don't receive preferential treatment during their meals. Inspectors book, dine, and pay for their meals in the same way as an average guest. Once each restaurant in consideration has been inspected, the Michelin Guide director meets with the worldwide teams for what is
Here's
called
my whole thing when it comes to food inspectors, bro. What makes y'all the best, bro? Like, what makes y'all taste buds the best? What makes y'all the best at tasting food? Like, seriously, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm gonna bring race into this. You're white. I'm black. So by default, we taste things differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might taste something from Golden Corral and it might be fire to you. I might go over there and taste it and it's like, yo, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what makes you qualified to speak for the Michelin? You know what I'm saying? Like, who died and made you this superb taste bud haver?
star sessions, where the rating of each restaurant.
I've
is
always felt
debated.
that way
These
about
sessions
food
often
inspectors.
last
Like,
days,
bro, like,
each
who are you?
establishment considered
Like,
one by one until a unanimous decision is reached. Restaurants
tell me
can
my
have a
food's
maximum
bad?
of 3
No,
stars.
you.
Michelin quantifies 1 star as being high quality cooking worth a stop. 2
Worth a
stars
stop?
for excellent cooking worth a detour. And
Worth a
finally,
detour.
the prestigious 3 stars represent exceptional cuisine worth a special journey. Ramsay honed his culinary skills at Harvey's in Wandsworth. This is where a legend was created.
Man said
The
worth a
executive
stop,
chef at
like, you
Harvey's
need to
was
stop.
Marco Pierre White, who is not only world class, but also considered to be the first celebrity chef. Marco has been rumored to have somewhat of a temper. He has admitted that sometimes he shouts and screams in the kitchen. Gordon says that Marco was brutal, allegedly one night even making a young Gordon Ramsay cry. However, this side of him is rarely seen when the cameras are on. On TV, he's more of an intense savage that struck fear into you without saying or doing too much.
I didn't make Gordon Ramsay cry. He made himself cry. That was his choice to cry.
After
That was
working at
his
Harvey's
choice
for
to
3
cry.
years, Ramsay became more equipped to handle
Man, Andrew
fast
Tate.
paced, high-pressure trade of fine dining. He also probably learned that sometimes to run a kitchen, you need to be aggressive, loud, and dominant. The 1988 documentary Marco shows a behind-the-scenes look at the chaotic life in the kitchen. Gordon is seen multiple times throughout the documentary calm, listening, learning, and getting a taste for what it was like to be on the big screen.
Yeah, 'cause he was
his
in his
family
apprentice
was still
stage.
suffering. Gordon's sister Diane decided to return home to live with their parents. One day, their father threw scalding hot milk over their mother, who was in
What?
bed, punching and dragging her downstairs. Diane got her mother to the hospital, where they were referred to Women's Aid, a charity in the United Kingdom aimed at ending domestic violence against women and children. The pair found refuge in one of the charity's shelters for 6 months and got help sorting out Helen's benefits. Her husband had never given her any money, likely a tactic he used to ensure she would never leave. Helen and Diane went home to find the flat ransacked and a postcard of
What that say? Signs of a financial abuse in marriage. I didn't know this was a thing. Let's look at this. Denial of access to money, intense monitoring of spending, giving an allowance, financial lies, secrecy or deception, financial infidelity, bullying or aggressive behavior, emotional withholding, coexistence of drugs, alcohol, sex, or gambling addiction. So, like, if you are on drugs in a relationship, you're financially abusing the marriage. I'm not trying to say that it's dumb. I'm just saying, like, that's okay.
She would never leave. Helen and Diane went home to find the flat ransacked and a postcard on the mantelpiece warning, "One night when you're least expecting it, I'll come back and finish you all off." From that moment onward, the Ramsey family was
What, they're living with Michael Myers?
Gordon James Sr. By
Here's how to make over 100 ad creatives in just minutes by using artificial intelligence. First things first, we're gonna have...
By his mid-20s, Gordon had already built a resume that would land him jobs working alongside world-class chefs in France, and then as head chef at La Tante Claire in Chelsea, a 3-Michelin-star restaurant. However, Marco White would present something that would stamp Gordon's legacy permanently. In 1993, Marco offered Gordon a head chef position and a 10% share in the Rossmore. The restaurant was renamed
People just didn't use gloves
and
back in the
achieved
day?
Michelin star status 14 months later. Gordon's cooking was so highly sought after that the restaurant had a waiting list of up to 6 months and bills averaging about 75 euros per person. By 1997, Aubergine won.
How much is a euro? Because
despite the
I
restaurant's
am about to go look it
success,
up either.
a dispute began between Ramsey and the business owners, who wanted to expand and turn Aubergine into a chain restaurant. Gordon didn't feel he could duplicate his cooking as a formulaic concept like most chain restaurants do. After many years of disagreements and legal battles, Ramsey announced his departure and handed in his notice. The entire staff at the restaurant followed Gordon and participated in a walkout. Ramsey later referred to it as Black Friday. He described the decision to set out on his own as the most important day of my entire cooking career, the most important decision of my life. Gordon decided to purchase and open his own restaurant called Restaurant Gordon Ramsay in Chelsea in 1998. The journey of opening his business venture paired with a television documentary series called Boiling Point. The series only had 5 episodes, but gave viewers a raw, behind-the-scenes look at Ramsay and his element. Along with his cooking methods and expertise, he tried to impress food critics in hopes of a 3rd Michelin star. Although the series was short-lived, Ramsay's vulgar language and hostile nature were on full display, and he quickly became known for his loud mouth and
look crazy.
kitchen. This guy got fired for drinking water.
Standing in front of the fucking glass, drinking fucking water.
Ah!
All the customers. Fuck off.
You're drinking water.
But even with these
Standing in the
explosive
middle of the class
moments,
drinking
it still
water.
feels tame compared to what would come many years later. After establishing his first restaurant, Ramsay expanded and opened several restaurants across the United Kingdom. He earned his 3rd Michelin star in 2001, making him the first Scottish chef to achieve the feat and securing him a lifelong legacy at the age of 35. His 2nd TV show portrayed Gordon in a much more genuine and humble way. Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares was a 2004 show where Gordon visited failing restaurants and helped to improve the establishments in just 1 week. He then revisited the restaurants months later to see how each business fared in his absence. Kitchen Nightmares was a huge commercial hit. Ramsay initially came off as quite relatable. He was very candid but still supportive in a positive manner and genuinely wanted to see businesses succeed.
So
He
when
used
did
his
he
time
become
wisely,
the
learning
demon?
the staff's strengths and weaknesses and the town's culture surrounding each restaurant. He also used collective plural pronouns like we when describing each restaurant and what needs to be done, fully integrating himself as a part of the team and part of the solution, not merely operating as an onlooker giving directions. This Ramsay made for far more compelling television and left viewers excited about the food and entrepreneurship. The more poised and calculated attitude carried on to his next televised culinary show.
It's kind of hard to give a reaction when you're actually
the show
listening.
created a competition between two kitchens featuring 10 aspiring chefs competing for a prize of 250,000 euros. Money that the winner could use to start his or her own restaurant. They were split into two teams of 6. One celebrity chef, along with...
I never watched any of these shows, so I'm learning to tell me.
Is that what we're going to do? Right, can we taste now, please?
But I know who Gordon Ramsay is.
That is the worst risotto. Oh, but I give up.
That means I give up.
No, I'm trying. My hardest, chef. Oh, man, what?
And they just laughing at him? Like, word? Yo, you know it would have been a fight. You know it would have been a fight if I cooked something and everybody in the kitchen just laughing at me. I'm like, yo, I tried. And y'all just, I would have been.
American version with the same name. First premiering in 2005, Hell's Kitchen US followed a different format. This is where Gordon's asshole persona was formed.
Now, go back on your section. Because I'm not a quitter. You're not a quitter. You're not.
Because I'm not a quitter.
Move your fat ass. You donkey! Hey!
Yo, there's a reason why everybody in this show, in this kitchen, is I need to stop bringing race into everything. But I was gonna say that if this is everybody in here was black, this one got jumped. This one got jumped.
You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking donkey! Don't let him cook a fucking thing!
The US version...
Man, let Gordon Ramsay call me a donkey while I'm cooking, son. I'm gonna take whatever's in the pan and I'm gonna just throw it at you, bro. I'm gonna just throw it at you, bro.
Hell's Kitchen surpassed the UK version in popularity. The show was significantly more dramatic than any of Gordon's UK shows, with the addition of loud sound
Cause you don't
effects.
even look that strong for real. You don't even really, you for real, whole time, you look like if any of them really try for real, you could probably get your behind whipped. You over here talking crazy, like.
Music, rapid jump cuts,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
drama.
for real, you could really get your behind whipped like the whole time.
Face that. Hurry up, Giovanni! Yeah, but I'm not face yet.
Hold on, so you talk back to the chef and everybody just looks at you like. Everybody was like, what did you just do?
I'm not dick face yet. Pissed, are you? I'm not. Look at me, the eyes! Not as pissed as I am! You fuck.
They're ready to spit in your face, bro. You better do something, bro. You better do something, bro. You better do something, bro.
Donkey!
It became so
Hey,
excessive.
you called him a donkey again?
Not as pissed as I am! You fucking ass! Donkey!
It became so excessive that people online started accusing the producers of staging fake drama for more entertaining television. People also claimed that the editors used editing techniques to make certain contestants appear as poor performers to justify their elimination later. The most obvious example was the case of Amanda Tech Moore, who you can clearly see cooking here, but the only problem is that she was eliminated 3 episodes earlier. Essentially, they're using old footage of contestants, for example, Gordon yelling at someone in episode 1, to justify their elimination in episode 10, even if they didn't do anything wrong that day, since the show is not premiering live and viewers wouldn't be able to notice the difference. Another major controversy in regards to the show being staged occurred when contestant Joseph Tinley from season 6, during one elimination round, angrily confronted Ramsay, challenging him to a fight before being escorted off the set.
You wanna fight?
Wanna talk some shit? Let's go step outside, man. I ain't here for that, no.
The incident drew...
In my personal opinion, I feel like if you're gonna walk down on him like that, the way that he's been talking to everybody the entire show, by the time you got there, it should have been you should have been. Shouldn't have been no. What's up? You wanna go? I ain't here for that door. Like you should have been.
From viewers suggesting the scene was potentially fake and conducted to add more drama and tension to the show to increase viewer interest. However, it was this tumultuous persona that made him ruined his UK television presence.
This was asked for well done, especially sending it back.
And let me just tell you something. You know, in terms of well done,
Well done.
we praised it. What is that?
Well done.
That is well done. So, what do you mean shit?
What about this, Gordon?
That is well done.
What about this?
It's well done.
Without the added sound effects and intense music, Gordon's screaming looks less performative, which made viewers think he was actually just a jerk. But the USA audience couldn't get enough of Gordon. He was a rock star.
We love drama.
He worked with Fox Network again to produce an American version of Kitchen Nightmares. First premiering in 2007, Kitchen Nightmares US followed the exact blueprint as the original, as the owners invited Gordon to spend a week with the failing restaurant to revive the business. However, like the US version of Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares was more dramatized and featured Ramsay displaying a visibly short temper, regularly yelling profanities and insulting his staff. Gordon once even said the F word 298 times in just 2 episodes. When you saw those 2 Kitchen Nightmares condensed into one, last year when they had those 298 fucks, I wasn't proud of that. There has come a time when, at the age of 43, I'm getting a bit tired of the foul-mouthed bully chef. In that same interview, Ramsay was adamant in his refusal to pander to elderly British viewers by trying to act like anyone other than himself. So on one hand, he admits he isn't proud of his excessive outbursts. On the other, he isn't just going to act like a proper lad to please his UK audience. Plus, in 2017, he came out with a show called The F Word, so I don't think he really cares that much. Both versions of Kitchen Nightmares produced 7 seasons.
I mean, he getting paid. I wouldn't care either.
As of September 2021, Ramsay has accumulated a net worth estimated to be around $220 million, with an estimated salary of $225,000 per episode. Gordon typically earns roughly $45 million per year from his media and restaurant business. His shows account for more than 75 hours of programming and more than $150 million in ad sales for Fox. With restaurants in the UK, US, France, Italy, China, South Korea, and Qatar, his empire has expanded on a global scale. Evidently, being a Ted pays pretty well. But Gordon is also able to act like this because he has started at the very bottom and grinded for decades mastering his craft. These days, you can see him on TikTok telling people how terrible their cooking is. Whether his rage comes from his father's abuse,
Even
or
on
from the
TikTok,
perspective of a passionate teacher wanting his pupils to learn, it never gets old seeing Gordon Ramsay absolutely destroy someone's cooking.
Yeah, man, just don't be doing that while I'm cooking, cause then we gonna have to hit, bro. I don't care who you is, but you could be Gordon Ramsay, you could be Chef Boyardee, you could be Jesus. We can hit. we can honestly hit. All right, we can honestly hit. We can honestly hit. That's all I got for this video, man. If you guys like this video and think it was a pretty cool video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe so the post notifications, share the video with all of your friends. And until next time, guys, peace out.
Hit me in the head, and my world went glorious way.
Battling over the enemies like I've been in first place. Holding it down, I won't break. Jump in the crowd, they carry my weight. Turning it down.
This is what you did.
Yeah, you do somebody